Bynum isn't really a town. Maybe some of the people over town would argue with me. You know, when I was a kid, there were a lot more people in the town, and now maybe 20, 25 people is all that live over there. This ranch was started by my grandfather. He came to Bynum and started teaching in '33, and my grandmother was the head teacher. And it didn't take too long, and he was the head teacher, and she was at home raising babies. Yeah. And so he came here, and, you know, he didn't make hardly enough money to live. And so he started with some sheep, and he would walk from Bynum over here to this barn and lamb his sheep out and then find summer pasture. And then in the fall, he'd go back to school and teach the kids. And then finally had an opportunity to buy this place in the early 40s and raised his family here. Right now, my son is the 4th generation. We just split the entire ranch last year, and it's about 5,000 acres, a little under. Well, we're noted for Chinook winds. You know, you go to 30 and 40 below zero, and in 12 hours, it's 30 or 40 degrees above zero. And that's been one of the biggest problems we had in 2018 is we have not had the Chinook winds. And that really was a detriment to us. As you can see, it's the 1st of April, and we still have snow. And it hasn't gone away. It's been endless. You know, with the Chinook winds, it usually, the snow hits, and in a few days or a week, it melts off. The ground gets bare, you have a little bit of a break, and then here it comes again. And we just have not had it. We've had a steady run of just snow. You know, we've had long periods of time of sub-zero temps. I remember some of that in high school, but I don't remember this long of a period of just snow and no breaks from it, and, you know, and piles lasting this long. We had a lot of young cattle in January. Our heifers started calving, and the ice is really such an impact on us because the heifers, you know, like teenagers, are full of life and exuberance, and they aren't really as cautious on the ice, and so they slip and fall. It breaks the umbilical cord and it's over. And so then they will have that calf because it's dead, and we call that a slink. And in that first 2 weeks of January, you know, the ice was just endless, and we had nowhere else to go with our cattle. And so we lost a lot of heifers, lost calves. It's more than I think we've ever lost before. We can't do another year like this. You know, I bought some bred heifers this fall so that we would have a little bit more profit margin for next year, and that's gone. And so a lot more stress. Calves dying for no reason really is the stress, because there's the money that we live off of. And there's nothing you can do about it. I looked at the guys and I kept saying, well, there went $1,000. There went $1,000. You know, and you don't say it lightly. You know, and I said when we were going in this year, oh, we got to have less death loss than last year. We got to really work on making sure more calves get born and then more calves are alive. And right now, it didn't happen. You know, we try really hard to do the best we can for our animals. You know, you feed them, you put mineral into them, you put salt into them, you doctor them when they're sick. You put a lot of time and effort in, and then there's that helpless feeling when you can't do anything for them. You know, growing up on the land, you watch the changes as they happen. And so the big push, you know, for us, we're looking at the people that are making money off of the so-called global warming. I mean, it makes you wonder. But climate change, it's something we live with all the time. You know, you can say, well, maybe next year, but until you get there, you're not going to know what it's going to do.